Okay, so again, we will be now tackling global networks 2. Now, global networks, part 2. So first thing first, no, is the parts of a whole. So in different subjects in senior high school, no, the word part or parts no, is often used in different topics. Diba, marami tayong pinagbabagayan ng salitang parts. Okay, for example, sa mathematics, okay, it is tackled in the lesson on fraction. Okay, so that is part of mathematics. We do tackle the lesson fraction. Okay, in English naman, we always hear the topic parts of a sentence. Okay, so parts pa rin siya. Okay, parts of speech, no, and many more. Okay, so when we talk about parts, okay, we also learn no, the different parts of the body. Okay, in the science subject. Okay, most simply we define parts, okay, as subdivisions, no, into which something is or is regarded as divided and which together constitute the whole. Okay, so from the word itself, parts. So when we say parts, pag pinagsama-sama natin, it constitute the whole. Okay? So and then on the other hand, no, when we say the word whole naman, it is simply defined as the completeness no, of the parts of or components rather. Okay, yung parts, no, subdivisions siya. Kaya pag pinagsama-sama yung parts, we can create a whole. Okay, but when we say whole, no, it is simply defined as the completeness of parts or components. So once na kapag sama-sama na yung parts and it is in a complete state, no, tinatawag natin siyang whole. Okay, so ganoon din naman sa global networks. Okay, so there are different types of global networks. Okay, di ba, we do have the society, okay, the other things, okay? So kaya meron tayong parts of a whole. So in the world we live in, no, we, the people, no, are the parts and the society is the whole. Okay, so kung nagigits natin, no, sa ating mundo ginagalawan, tayo yung parts and then yung society natin yung whole. Okay, so the question now is, how can we become a productive part no, of the society we live in? Eh, syempre, of course, hindi lang tayo dapat maging part ng isang whole. We must be a productive part. Okay, in order for the entire society or the whole to become more productive din. Okay, so paano kaya yun? So some important factors no, that we have to consider as part of the whole society are the following. Now, meron tayo tinatawag na primary identity or individuation, tsaka secondary identity. Okay, so pag sinabi natin primary identity from the word step, primary. Okay, so at first hand. Okay, it is defined as the concept of personal identity. Okay, so ikaw mismo, walang kinalaman the society. Okay, your personal identity. These are the norms that an individual learns through the society. Okay, so examples sa values natin. Na ito example ng mga primary identity ha, values, attitude, tsaka beliefs na nakukuha mo. So sa values, we often see the tagline. Okay, so cliche it may seem, pero lagi natin nakikita. Honesty is the best policy, no? In every classroom. Honesty is an example of values we learn from our family. Okay, so that is primary identity. Okay, so under siya ng primary identity si values. No, na-obtain in the family or inside the house or inside the home. Okay, in the family. Another example is attitude. Okay, so takbo, may aso. Okay, so your action when you're scared of something is an example of attitude. It can be good or bad action or behavior. Okay, so ang example lang dito is this one. Okay, that action of yours may be an attitude, but it can be good or bad, or it can be a behavior. Okay, so attitudes can also be brought about by the society, brought about by the family, or by the environment. Next is beliefs. Okay, so beliefs, wow, ang taba ng bata. Napakasiguro niya. It is an opinion that we believe to be real and true. Okay, so pag sinabing primary identity or individuation, these are the norms that an individual learn through the society. Example niya itong mga to, yung mga values, attitudes, tsaka beliefs. Next, yung tinatawag natin secondary identity. Okay, so may kinalaman na to sa mga trabaho, pag-aaral, okay, and something. Okay, yung kanina is we are talking about the personality. primary, the pag-uugali, beliefs, values. Okay? So now secondary identity, it is also known as social identity. Okay? So as a child gets socialized with the society, no, as you participates, okay, he participates in the construction of his secondary identity. Now this includes the roles, no, the roles and statuses that the individual has to perform as part of his society. Ito naman yung example ng secondary identity natin. No, first thing, occupation. Okay, so occupation often corresponds with income and educational attainment, which combine determine a person's social class. However, occupations with high occupational prestige can increase one's social class without a corresponding increase in indicators such as income. Okay, number one, when it comes to identity is the occupation natin. Okay, so hindi nakasama dito yung mga pang beliefs saka values. Now we are talking about the societal issues here. Okay, occupation, which corresponds with the income. Second one, ganoon din naman educational background, okay, which includes your high school and in college. Okay, so identity to, societal na. Kaya ano ba yung trabaho mo or ano ba sa ka nag-aaral? Okay, are you in your high school or tertiary, okay, or elementary? Next one, letter C, economic status. No, it can be considered by your occupation and income. Okay, another secondary identity is economic status. Okay, saan ka ba nabibilang? No, nabibilang ba tayo sa mayaman, sa poor, okay, sa middle income? Okay, so it can be considered okay, through your occupation tsaka kung magkano yung kinikita mo, yung economic status to, doon nalalaman. Gender refers to the socially constructed roles. If I'm not mistaken, masasabing mahirap or poor kapag hindi pa umaabot ng the minimum wage, which is 10K or 12K a month, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Next is the gender. Okay, so secondary identity, gender, refers to the socially constructed roles, behaviors, activities, and attributes that a given society considers appropriate for men and women. Unlike sex, which refers to the biological characteristics of humans, such as male or female, according to the WHO. Okay, so there's difference between sex, diba, and gender. Okay, when we talk about sex, no, we are talking about the male or female. Pero pag sinabi natin gender, refers to socially constructed roles. Okay, behaviors, activities, and attributes that a given society considers appropriate for men and women. Kaya meron din tayong tinatawag na LGBTQI+. Okay, so meron tayong tinatawag na gano'n. Okay, so because sex is different from a gender according to the World Health Organization. Okay, so yun naman yung kabuuan ng secondary identity. Okay, kapag yung primary identity, we are talking about the values, no, the attitudes and the beliefs, okay, that we have learned through the society, okay, through the environment or through our family. Pag sinabing secondary identity naman, this is your social identity. We are talking about the roles and statuses that an individual has to perform, no, as part of his society. Anong trabaho mo? Okay, saan ka nag-aaral? Are you in your college? What was your economic status? Are you a middle class? Are you belong to the middle class? Okay, so or are you belong to the upper one? Okay, what is your gender? Okay, so as a part of the society. So that is the secondary identity. And also, meron tayo tinatawag na status tsaka roles. Okay, so when we define the two, when we say status, no, this refers to an individual's position in society, which carries with it a set of defined rights and obligations. When we say on the other hand naman roles, pag sinabing roles, this refer to the sets of expectation which occupy a particular status according kay Alejandria 2015. Kaya para mas maintindihan natin kung ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng status or role, let's have an example. Okay. Okay, as you can see here, no, color coding, status tsaka role. Your status is a senior high school student. Okay, that's the position of yours. Okay, in the society. Your status is a senior high school student. Therefore, your role is to study hard in order to earn a high school diploma. Okay, so nakukuha natin yung pagkakaiba. Status refers to an individual's position in society. okay, which carries with it as a set of defined rights and obligations. Okay, so you have your position in the society as estudyante ka, as senior high school student. You have the rights and obligations as a student. Okay, and then what is the role? Okay, role is referring to the sets of expectation. Okay, so kung ikaw ay, kung status mo ay isang senior high school student, okay, you have your rights and obligations, then ang role mo is you must have tawag dito, sets of expectation. Okay, you have a goal, okay, which is to study hard in order for you to earn a high school diploma. Yun yung role mo as a senior high school student pa lang. Okay, so that is the difference between status tsaka roles. Next, here are the 6 principles of Gestalt laws applied to global networks that we have to consider as part of the society. So meron tayo tinatawag na 6 principles ng Gestalt law. Okay? So ito yung tinatawag nating figure, similarity, proximity, closure, continuity, and symmetry or order. Pag sinabi natin figure na from the word itself, okay, it refers to the people in a nation which may vary in terms of color, size, etc. Okay, so when we say figure, we are talking about the people. Okay, when it comes to global networks. Not when it comes to Gestalt law. Pag sinabing figure, talks about people sa isang nation, okay, magkakaiba man ang kanyang color, sizes, and etc. Next, okay, another principle is the principle of similarity. Okay, from the word of similarity, it states the things no which share characteristics such as shape, size, color, texture, and good composition. It can be geographical setting and characteristics of different nation. Okay, so sa similarity from the word itself, para syempre kasalintulad. Okay, so parehas silang merong characteristics ng ganito, ng ganyan. Okay, parehas sila ng ganitong shape, ng size, color. Okay, and we can associate this now to geographical settings tsaka characteristics ng different nations. Okay, let's say for example, we do have similarity no, with our Malay brothers, no, sa mga Malaysians, no, sa mga Indonesians. Okay, so that's similarity. Next is what we call proximity. So when we say proximity, it says that objects or shapes that are close to one another appear to form groups. Even if shapes, sizes, and objects are radically different, they will appear as a group if they are close together. Okay, refers to close neighboring countries which possess the same cultural background. Okay, so when we say proximity, kahit naman magkakaiba yung shape, pero once na sila ay magkakalapit, kaysa isa't isa, they form a group. Okay? Kagaya ng sinasabi dito sa mga close neighboring countries natin. Okay? So yung mga katulad nating countries such as the Malaysians, the Thailand, the Indonesians, okay? Although magkakaiba tayo in some way, and also the geographical setting of course, may be a bit different. Okay? But those close neighboring countries of ours, no, somehow possess same cultural background natin. Okay, and then we can form a group with them. So yun yung tinatawag natin another principle ng proximity. Okay, so hindi lang similarity kasi hindi nga sila magkakatulad or close to one another. Okay, so in a form of a group proximity ang tawag. Next is what we call the closure. Now sa closure, it involves the provision of missing details to be a part of potential pattern, or once closure is achieved, the elimination of details unnecessary to establish a pattern match. Examples nito, governance, laws, and others. So closure, not the closure ng magjowa. Okay, so closure is nakapaloob yung isang provision ng mga missing details. Okay, para magkaroon tayo ng pattern. Okay, so para magkaroon tayo ng gobyerno, ng law, okay, ng constitution, and etc. So that is closure. No, elimination of unnecessary details. No, dapat yung mapagkakasunduan lang ng mga parts for a potential pattern, for a potential governance, for potential law, and others. That's closure. Next is continuity. Okay, from the word itself, continue. No, continuity states that things tend to continue shapes beyond their ending points. Okay, so it means interconnection to cross countries, essence of globalization or evolution of generation. Okay, so there must be a presence of principle of continuity. Okay, so hindi lang tayo doon natatapos. Okay, if we can evolve for the other groups or no organizations when it comes globally, okay, we can do so. We can connect to them, okay, in the sake of for continuity. Okay, so that's globalization kasi. Okay, we are not sticking to one country, but we can also be interconnected to other countries. No, that's continuity. And next is symmetry or order. Symmetry or order connotes stability and peace and order. No, like sets of instruction or reference. It does not give the impression of things that something is out of balance, missing, or wrong. Okay, so there must be symmetry and order. There must be a portion of peace and order, and there must be stability. Okay, so meron tayong, wala daw yung tinatawag nating out of balance, missing, or wrong. Okay, so it must be stable. Okay, there must be peace and order. Kaya siya tinawag na symmetry when it comes to math, di ba? Symmetry and order, or symmetry or order. Okay, so yung tinatawag nating 6 principles of Gestalt law, no, that can be applied to global networks. Meron tinatawag na figure. Okay, so the nation, the people in the nation with parity in color, sizes. Similarity, pagkakatulad. Okay, so proximity. Okay, so kahit na hindi sila ganun ka halintulad, okay, so katulad ng mga neighboring countries natin, but we do possess same cultural backgrounds. Closure, okay, so this is the provision of the missing details, okay, for a potential pattern of governance, laws, and etc. Continuity, okay, interconnectionness, no interconnections to the other countries. Then symmetry is the stability and peace and order. Okay, so meaning balance. And that's it. Okay, so hanggang dun lang muna for the global networks part 2. Okay, so yun lang naman ang sakop niya. Natandaan lang natin yung ating mga terminologies. Parts, whole, as simple as that lang naman yon. Meron tayong primary identity, tsaka secondary identity. Pag primary identity, nandun yung values. Lahat pag-uugali. Values, attitudes, tsaka beliefs. Pagdating naman sa secondary identity, we are talking about your social identity. What is your part, no, in the society? Okay, your occupation, the educational background of yours, what was your economic status, and your gender. And then status tsaka role. Okay, yung position, pagdating sa status, and then yung role mo bilang isang senior high school student. Okay, so ano yung dapat i-expect sa'yo, or sets of expectation, not for you. Okay, that is role. And then the 6 principles of Gestalt law, no, figures, similarity, proximity, closure, continuity, and symmetry or order. Question before we go to your activity. Madali na activity, no? Tawag dito, may choices naman. If none, kindly hit the thumbs up button. Okay, very well. So now for your activity, kindly look for the lesson package, Trends, Lesson, Global Networks, Part 2. At the bottom part of it is your activity. No password is needed. Kindly hit the take quiz button. Okay, magbibigay lang ako instruction pero madali lang naman yan. Read and analyze each statement below. Choose your answer from the given words in the box. So meaning dito lang po kayo mamimili ng isasagot. Okay, we do have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we do have here 12 choices. Okay, but we have 10 items only. Meaning dalawa ang wala doon sa pagpipilian, ang hindi nyo isasagot. Okay, so kung ano yung pagkaka-spelling dito sa choices sa box, yun din ang isasagot, no, in the underline. Okay, in each item. Kung figure lang nakalagay dyan, figure lang yan. Huwag nang lalagyan ng S na figures. Okay, kasi wrong spelling is wrong. Okay, so it doesn't matter kung capital, kung lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. No, anything. Okay, it's either of the two. Okay, pero dapat tama ang spelling. Okay, so kung ano yung nakalagay sa choices, kung may S, may S. Kung walang S, walang S. Okay, so dito lang naman kayo mamimili sa choices sa box sa itaas. Okay, so wala nang magkakamali dyan na huwag nang magdadagdag ng spelling. Okay, And also, wag maglalagay ng punctuation. Okay, is that clear? Now, is your activity clear? Kindly hit the thumbs up button kung clear yun. Okay, very well. So you may now start answering your activity. Tingnan ko kung naka-share na. Di ba pala naka-share? Wait lang. Yan, okay na. So you can now access the activity. So naka-share na po sa inyo. Kindly start answering your activity.